Yo everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which will be watching my Geoguessr World League Week 2 games. I didn't play Week 1. I decided to ask for the first week off because we get like multiple weeks off that we can pick, and I decided to pick Week 1 off so that I could see what the moving map was, so I could decide if it was worth moving or not. And since we knew that the map would be good for moving, I decided to move instead of into something, if you get me. So that was my logic behind that. And yeah, let's get into game 1 here against Amerain. Starting off with moving. I think he is more of a moving player from what I'm aware. But yeah, my camera has got about 3 pixels on it. But that's fine. Okay, starting off here. First thought was Scotland. We get a sign here saying Glencoe, which I recognized, which is this town here. Yeah, just side of Fort William. I think he got the same sign, but wasn't familiar with Glencoe, although he clicked right next to it. But it's one zoom level further in. So yeah, he did not see it. And yeah, happy with that. Yeah, Glencoe, not the biggest of towns, but somewhat knowable. So, you know, we take those. And then round 2 here was a North American round. Wasn't too sure of what I made of this starting off. I think I was probably thinking New Brunswick, but I wasn't too sure. And going to the main road here to try and find something. Gen 4 kind of helps make it more region guessable, I suppose. Yeah, I'm probably gonna look for language on the street signs. It's a bit hard to see in the screen, unfortunately. But I saw an Ontario traffic cone there. I think there. The black and orange one. So I probably sent Ontario. I low-key forget. But you know, it's fine. Where do I send? Yeah, I saw the Ontario traffic cone, and it was slightly hilly and a bit more rural feeling, so I thought Sudbury made a bit more sense than downtown Toronto, and yeah, both went for similar guesses. We had a decent start to the duel, but neither of us really found info there, but I assume we both found the something to say that it was Ontario. Okay, maybe when I forget every round, is this France? Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, okay, now I remember this round. So I found something that it said like Parisi something on like a bus or something. I don't know when I see it, but I saw something saying Paris something. Was it on this? Let me go back. That's too hard to. Does that say Villa? Just I don't know. Where did I see Paris? I would have thought it was something here, but maybe it's later on. Okay, I'll go back to this. But yeah, I was like I saw the Paris thing. Or is it this? No, I don't know where I saw Paris, but I saw Paris. But I was like, this looks nothing like Paris. So I was like, not wanting to send Paris. Is that it? Yeah, it says Parisian on that. Which you know I thought might be Paris, but I was like, this doesn't really look like Paris. It looks way more south. But yeah, not finding any phone codes. But Villa d'Avray, kind of sounds like a. I know a lot of like Parisian place like suburbs are like Villa to something. So that was kind of bringing me back to Paris, but like I don't know, the architecture here like almost looked like Nice or something. So I was like very confused. And yeah, you can see I kind of clicked middle, and then I'm like, nah, I should probably click Paris because it said Paris thing. But I clicked like south suburbs to hedge everything south of Paris. Um, but yeah, it was outside of Versailles there. Yeah, not many points though, so that's fine. And then next round here was a bit of a tricky one. So urban coastal Brazil, which is not my favorite thing in the world. We had round polls, but I didn't actually find info. I'm not sure if he found info. I assume he did because he was very close on this round, but I found nothing. Nothing I recognized anyway. But yeah, I was mainly looking for phone codes. So we have coast like east here, but we also have coast like south. So I was like, oh, maybe it's Rio or something. But yeah, we also had like round poles and stuff, which would kind of make sense for Rio, but would also make sense for further south. But I was thinking it's probably not north, especially with coast south. And did he wait? Did he find the phone code on that? No. Maybe yeah, maybe I think there's a 40 something there. So yeah, I guess he found that, and then clicks here. But yeah, I still have nothing at this point. Every phone number I found has been not helpful. I see like coast is like kind of southeast, so I'm like, I guess Rio makes sense. I low-key considered like I was gonna hedge Sao Paulo to cover like Santa Catarina Parana coast, but I went for Rio instead, which only 2.5x, so I kind of get away with it here. But yeah, higher multis and that would have been game. But it's fine. And then next round here was Zaw. I know Zaw phone codes, so I was mainly what I was looking for. I'm not sure what his moving knowledge is, but I think he's more of a moving player, as I said. So I was expecting him to also know phone codes, but I was like, I may as well look for them. But my first vibe was probably thinking north, just with, I don't know, the hills in the background and the redness of the soil, but was not too certain. Don't think I see anything there. I remember seeing like a construction sign, I think, that said, yeah, it says that, and then it also says Limpopo on something else. I think. Yeah, I think it says Limpopo on this. Yeah, Limpopo province thing. And then I had the town name, and I looked for it. I think I can see more town names that are showing up though, because I wouldn't be scanning at this zoom level, and then I have it, so I don't know what that's doing, but yeah, I could see more time. Like it looked as if I was just scanning with Polokwane as the only town visible in Limpopo, but I could see more, so I don't know. But yeah, I was just scanning for the town name I saw on the first line, but was able to find it. And then this was a Gen 2 North America round. Gen 2 not really common in the US, but it does exist quite commonly in Alaska, and I think we do have some yellow plates visible, as you can see there. And then I immediately think it's here somewhere, near Haynes. But I have like street names, and I think I start scanning for grid lines that work, because I could see coast south, but nothing really lined up here. And I was like, if it's Alaska, if it's Panhandle, Alaska, it's probably here. So I was getting a little bit concerned because I was like, oh, wait, what is this? But yeah, and then you'll see I zoom. Okay, I zoom out to a Panhandle, I think, or no, I just think I'm just like looking at the coast potentials in Panhandle, and then I'm like, okay, what if it's Homer? But like you can see me like going into Homer, and like I'm like that doesn't really line up, does it? And then I switched to Anchorage, adjacent, but it was Homer, and he goes Panhandle, which is what I scanned. So very lucky to not go Panhandle there. I think if he insta guesses or something, then I'd probably go Panhandle as well. But I scanned what I thought it could be, and it wasn't there, so that was enough to, not send there. But yeah, a bit lucky there with the Brazil round order, but I think I played the other rounds decently enough. But yeah, a bit of a multi-merchant there from yours truly. And yeah, I guess I'll skip through this. Not too much to skip. But yeah, next was No Move. This was an interesting game for sure. Showing off double yellow lines, probably thinking it's somewhere in North America. We have the black possum guard on a pole here. To our south, I think. I mean, it's on this pole, but I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it there. So yeah, that's most common more west than east, I guess, or like west of the Appalachia than east of it. So like Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna click west of the Appalachians, even though it looks kind of east. But yeah, it was just maxed out Indiana there, which is very tricky lock. Like I would have sent where he sent one at the black possum guard looking thingy. But yeah, decent start, 800 points round one. We'll take that. And this, we had German bollards. I'm checking copyright anyway, even though we have German bollards for some reason. Don't ask. And then it's hilly, so I'm like, okay, it's probably not max north, so I'll click south to hedge south and middle, just because the hills didn't feel max north. And then yeah, it was label. But yeah, nice guess Amerain there. Actually, I'm not sure if that's how the name is pronounced, but yeah, it's like yeah. Then next round was in Kenya here with the Geoguessr. Very, very interesting lock. I wasn't really sure what to make of it with the mountains west and east. I was like, that looks kind of like a big mountain. But I was like, I think I have a click near Mount Kenya. I know there's like some like weird stuff east of Meru, like weird hills, but I ended up hedging because I also considered where the lock was up by Eldoret. But where I clicked doesn't really make sense, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, decent start to the duel, 2,200 HP up. Then this was a interesting location, if I'm remembering this correctly. So it looks like Southeast Asia. License plate is blue, which is a bit weird. Couldn't really think of what that could be at the time. I checked Kerbler, and it's actually US Kerbler, which in theory should point you towards Cambodia. But I was like, this is never Cambodia, and the Kerbler looks slightly weird, so I'm just going to ignore it, and go what it looks like. Which is, you know, wasn't the best idea in hindsight because, you know, you'll see what it was. But yeah, I decided to ignore the Kerbler, and was like, this looks like Philippines. He is in Thailand as a Thai person, but it's coastal Cambodia, so we're both very far off, but he's significantly closer than me. So still 2.7k, but I got kind of lucky to not die there because, you know, he's bordering country and I am across the ocean, but, you know, it's fine. Then this, it's like, this is the worst location I've ever seen. Like, the least region guessable Brazil round of all time. Like, yeah, I think we both just end up clicking downtown Sao Paulo. Or I think I clicked like Campinas or something a bit more central in the state just to hedge for, like Goiás or something else. Or do I click Sao Carlos? Yeah, I do. Yeah, it was Goián. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Goiás, Sao Paulo are like the two options, I guess. I don't really deserve to do 1,200 points of damage, but you know, we'll take it, I guess. Yeah. Then next round here, was interesting. My first thought was Philippines, but we had this like very like square, like almost like prison shaped looking house thing, which I associate a lot with Indonesia, especially Kalimantan, but the mountains were probably a bit off for Kalimantan. But I was like, this looks like Philippines, but the house is very weird. I couldn't really tell the car color. It was kind of like invisible. Because of the pavement, but yeah, that would have helped if I could see, because black would guarantee Indo and white would be Philly. But yeah, this was very scary round. We're both not sure. Although, like, it just looks like Philippines, but I'm like, I think I'm trusting the house, and he goes Philippines. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. But yeah, it was Indo. I was very scared of Philippines. Like, it looked like the Philippines. But yeah, trusted the house fully. And yeah, that was the 2-0, my first series of the entire tournament league thing. So that was a good start, although it was a little bit shaky. I could have lost in the Cambodia. I definitely, if the Brazil in the moving duel had different multis, could have went a lot worse. And yeah, was happy to get the win there. And yeah, next game here was against Kent, which was about like 7 hours afterwards or something. Yeah. And we'll see how this went. Starting off in moving in. Okay, this was, I think, Indonesia. Yeah, we get Black Card pretty soon. And then I get to a sign, and I'd heard of the place name before. And that wasn't the place name I had heard of. There was a place name that I'd heard of, but I forgot where it was. I don't know if we'll see it. But yeah, poll is weird, but it's fine. Because I find a different poll soon. Yeah, so that's the address on that, I think. And this sign says Manado, the one above us. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, we're here. And then the place was Batong, I think it said. And then I think, yeah, 5 gate. Or close enough to 5 gate. But yeah, almost trolled. Because I think I had Batong written earlier. We can also see the volcano at one point for a little bit, so probably should have gotten that without the sign for Manado, but you know, it is fine. Then we get a UK round. Welcome to Pegswood, which, you know, have not heard of that. Heard of Glencoe, but no Pegswood, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I don't think either of us find anything useful here. As far as I'm aware, like Blossom Park, I mean, and a phone number, but I don't think it was area. I mean, that could be a regional phone code, but I don't know UK phone codes. Yeah. And then we're both moving through the town. of Pegswood, but yeah, I don't think we find anything. And then he just clicks middle-ish, like middle of England. And I was like, yeah, this looks like middle of England, so I also end up clicking middle of England. Yeah, both of us I said Birmingham there, but yeah. And yeah, it was outside Newcastle instead. Yeah, just a small suburb of Newcastle. And yeah, we'll skip that. Might as well skip the 5 seconds. And then this was, what was this? You know, I don't know the country. I think it was Austria or Germany. Yeah, check care at some point actually. But I think it's, yeah, I zoom into both just in case. Yeah, I'm just moving, but I don't actually do I think I do find a sign. But I don't think it was a findable sign. Like I have Matsi, which is the place name. Something Lamast or Damasti. But yeah, I'm like, because like you see, I don't know, I thought it might have been like a river name. So I was like looking for place names with the river. And oh, he was in Germany at the start, okay. I mean I consider Germany as well, but the signage was Austrian, I thought. But yeah, he switches to Austria once he gets to signage as well. And yeah, it was border. So I mean his Germany Austria border hedge would have been cooking. But you know, it's fine. Yeah, and then next round here we were back in the UK. This was a bit unfortunate. You'll see what happened, but yeah, we're moving along. I think he finds something, unless he just had a really good region guess. My movement is a little bit buggy, so yeah, isn't going too smoothly. And he gets onto a roundabout, so maybe he finds a sign on the roundabout. Okay, he's like getting to a highway, so yeah, I presume he finds something. Allegedly. Does he not find anything? Because the guess was really close, so I assumed he found something, but maybe not. Unless he finds it with like 1 second left. He finds it with 1 second left. Glasgow on the sign, and Carol's Isle. Which is, Carol's Isle is like covered by UK label, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Next southeast of Dumfries. But yeah, I'm focusing on what I did. So last second here, there's a white plate. But I'm like, oh, is it Northern Ireland because it's an Irish car? And I stopped. I mean, I didn't stop too much further away. Like I was in North England and went to Northern Ireland. But you know, it's just bad luck. But it is fine. And yeah, next time, nice guess from Kent though. We get a rush around, which, you know, moving Russia can be good for me. This was a bit of a weird round though. I wasn't really expecting where it was, but he wasn't either. But yeah, just got to a town here. I was looking for a town entrance sign, so that I could just scan for the town name. But yeah, I don't think if I had a town sign this early, I would have even found it, because I would not have scanned for the locals. I was considering around Malgabec because of the ridge we had, but I don't. Do I end up signing there? I'm trying to remember. Not too sure. But it kind of lines up, so I'm like, maybe. But yeah, he also still hasn't found anything. We're both just in the same town. And yeah, I end up clicking downtown Malgabec, but yeah, it's also a good hedge for all of the south. And he clicks in the south as well, but a little bit more north of me, and it was up by Stavropol instead. Bit of a tricky one with the ridge, but yeah, there's some hills downtown Stavropol, so it makes sense. And then next round was in Kenya. He sends, I guess he was just super confident that it was west, with his 5 guess. And then I found a sign for Batari, which I knew I'd heard of, so I knew it was findable. I'm definitely zoomed in more than I am here. I think, or Batari, not Batari. But yeah, ended up getting 499 here, which, you know, had about 10 seconds to find Batari, so was happy with that. But yeah, had heard of it before. And then next round here, we got a rush around. I maybe could have just insta-sent because I was like kind of confident with the mountain, but I wanted to be safe. Although I guess I'm trailing on round 7. But then this is Novorossiysk, which is this city here, which is the second biggest city in Krasnodar, I think, or maybe Krasnodar, Sochi, Novorossiysk, maybe. I don't know if he found anything, but I think he's checking the antenna. It looks kind of weird, but yeah, he goes with Astrakhala because it's a big city, but wrong coast because we had a water east because of the Novorossiysk Bay, I think. So that's probably why he went Mahachakala. But yeah, got a bit lucky with Russia there, but to be fair, I just found the sign. Yeah, but was happy with that. A little bit lucky there with the MI incident. Getting saved by Russia as usual, but you know, we take the win. And yeah, let me skip forward a little bit. Just for the interlude. And we're in No Move. With an interesting location, World Market Center. Yeah, I think he lives in America. But he's smiling. He's like probably been here. Yeah, I was like, I think it's an Arizona plate, and I guess or not Arizona plate, a Nevada plate, and it looks like, you know, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, and yeah, it was just Las Vegas label. I maybe should have zoomed in more so I don't lose my 54 points, but it's fine. And then next round was in this is a weird round, to be honest. Trying to think. I think I sent Slovenia, but it wasn't. Spoiler alert. But yeah, a bit of a weird round. I almost considered Russia as well, just with the winter coverage, but I was like, don't really place it in Russia. And we have like a city southwest of us, and I was like, it looks like a decently sized city, I guess. But yeah, I was like, could it be Maribor in Slovenia? Because it's like, we had no care, I think. It was kind of flat, but with hills behind the city, which makes a lot of sense for Maribor. He's in Austria, which also makes sense with no care. It's probably the second option for me. But I was like, I don't know, the road feels a bit more Slovenian. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It was just Vienna, world map moment. That's not played on world map, but yeah, I mean, I kind of had the vision, but yeah, his guess was much nicer. Yeah. And then next round here, this was yeah, this could have changed the it could have changed the course of the game, for sure. So we like my first thought here was South Kalimantan, but I was like, you're just ever sending it. Like, you've got rubber trees and oil palms, you should send Sumatra usually. And I was like, I think it's South Cali, but I'm like, surely he's gonna send Sumatra as well, so I just don't risk it. And it was South Cali. And yeah, if I click South Cali, I do like 5,000 points or something. But yeah, it's just too risky. Because Sumatra is just the default guess with the oil palms. But yeah, unless we had a sign for Filer's Bay, and I was like, okay, it looks like Eyre Peninsula or York Peninsula. I always forget which is which. But it's fine. But wasn't too sure. I mean, the car is new coverage, so wasn't very familiar with the coverage as well. But yeah, he goes into Wa, which is the second option in my head as well. With the word bay, you know, it's gonna be coastal, so not in New South Wales, and then I don't think Vic would look like this. But yeah, I'm like looking here because I'm like assuming it's like you see a lot of bays here, like Streaky Bay, Tumby Bay, Skeel Bay, Bard Bay. You know, there's a lot of bays in this part of South Australia, and I just can't find it, so I'm getting a little bit scared. But yeah, he's still in Wa, I'm still in SA, and I move a little bit north, and yeah, ends up being kind of between us. I'm in the States, but he's on the road, so I do 2.5k, but definitely could have found it. I think it was like a nature park or something along those lines. But yeah, that is fine, because we don't lose too many points, or we didn't lose out on like too many points of damage. I mean, it would have been like 2,000 or something, I guess, but wouldn't have been too bad, or too much of a difference. Well, it would have been, but I wasn't like too mad at myself, is what I'm trying to say. And then we get another Australia around here. And I'm thinking it's like Mount Gambier area because we've got these like sand like pile like across water from us, like this, as you can see. And I'm like, okay, there's like this section down by Mount Gambier, and it was this section. He goes a bit further north on a similar looking thing, but I thought it was a bit greener, so I went more south. But yeah, I guess now the Australia, if I 5K'd, I would have won, like the first one, but you know, it's fine. Then we get Japan, which you know scared me because, Japan is where he's from, so yeah, was a little bit concerned. I kind of thought it looked middle, but I was like, I don't know. I thought rice was like slightly more southern. I think we had a rice, so I was like, I guess I'm gonna hedge it slightly south here, but I wasn't too sure. I try to remember what I end up clicking. I think I end up hedging Shikoku or something, even though it probably wouldn't be Shikoku. Or maybe I go Shikoku because it's a bit flatter than Shikoku. But yeah, he's on label basically. Which you know is valid. But yeah, I don't know. This was a bit of a diabolical Japan lock. He starts moving slightly more west, which you know ends up helping me out a little bit, which is good. But yeah, I could have lost there. I think, yeah, could have lost. 1600 times 3.5 is 4,000 or 5,400. So, yeah, could have been game. And then this was a interesting location. Brazilian poles have a cacti, so assuming it's northeast because that's the only place you really get cacti in Brazil, or at least a cacti that looks like this. And yeah, I thought the car being white-ish was like leading me towards Sierra. I think he's in Paraíba, which is also valid. I wasn't too sure on this. Northeast Brazil is kind of tricky to state street. Oh, he's in Pernambuco currently, but he moves to Paraíba, which you know it was a good switch for him, we'll say. But yeah, I ended up sending Max out Sierra. It is Pernam. I don't know. There's like a Paraíba panhandle there, but I was 1700. Which was a lot. Now he has the lead. And we go into the next round, and we are back in Indonesia with a railway. Lucky it might have been scannable, like a double railway. I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of annoyed with what I sent in the end. I definitely could have sent better, and we'll see why. But first, I was kind of thinking, could this be Lampung? Because we have like slightly orange soil somewhere. I forget where it was. Yeah, there below the house is a bit reddy orange, which is more of a Lampung thing than Java, and we have the tiled roofs, so it should be one of the two. So yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking. Is it Lampung? Is it Java? And then in my head, I was like, red soil is most common in Banten or Jakarta area. So I was like, do I click Jakarta downtown? We have a double railway, which would make sense. But I end up clicking Lampung at the start, and I click north of Bandung here in this flat area. But I like was eyeing up Jakarta and was like, should I send it with the soil and the double railway? And I think I would have won if I clicked Jakarta. Like I would have added 400 points or like 300 points closer and multiplied that by 4.5. Definitely would have been game, but ended up not sending it. But you definitely could have won there. And this, it's round 9. We've got yellow reflectors in the guardrail, which should be Spain with this landscape. And the Google card being Europe and not like Chile or something. And then we have a house. I'm trying to see, like, North Spain can be hard. You can see he's a bit further east. I'm way further west. But yeah, we can both lose in this. I decide to send, but a little bit early, put on the pressure. I'm listening to my music. Probably Gracie Abrams if I have to guess. But yeah, end up getting a nice guess. I'm very relieved because it was a very scary game. We both got a little bit low, going into almost around the limit. But yeah, that was my second 2-0, my second ever series. I'm back to singing Gracie Abrams. Yeah. But yeah, I was happy with that. definitely a closer series than the score made it out to be. But you know, we'll take the 2-0, of course. And yeah, last series that I played was against OceanMan. This was on the main broadcast, commentated by Jake Lyons and Bloom. We start off in Brazil here. Jake was saying in the start of the broadcast, I'm a bit more of a moving player than people expect me to do, which I kind of showed in this game. I don't think I could have done much better. So as we get here, we get a 63 area code. I just slam it into token chains as fast as possible. Didn't click dead center, but you know, put on some pressure. He's in a town, but I don't think he finds anything. His guess is pretty good. Going in token chains Amerain border, but I think he gets the state. Oh, he tries to switch actually, which would have been a lot more points for me, which would have been nice. But yeah, drinking my water. I'm happy with how round 1 started. But yeah, first game on stream is always a bit more of a nervous one, I suppose. But I don't know, I wasn't feeling too nervous, I guess. And then Turkey, fast move all open the map, which Jake was saying on the broadcast is like what you should be doing. And yeah, I get a bin here. Kukurova, I don't know where that is. I don't think. I mean, maybe Jill just knows what that is, but not many people would. But yeah, my first thought was like European Turkey, and then we get to something where I can see like a mountain north, and I was like, that mountain is not European Turkey. As you can see, I'm like, okay, that is not. That is more west coast or south coast. So I zoom out a little bit. I just start looking for Kukurakova or whatever it was. You cannot remember it. And I keep fast moving, and I get to a very lucky sign here with 10 seconds left, which just says Adana is to our east. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna click slightly northwest of Adana because we're slightly in the hills, and so it's probably not gonna be south of Adana. But yeah, he goes for Gaziantep, which was better than my initial region guess, but decently far enough away that I do 675. But yeah, found info on both rounds so far. It's a pretty good start to the duel. Then we get back into Turkey. And zoom into the map again. This time I was like, okay, this looks like Konya Ankara border. And that was just my initial region guess. Don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it's fine. I ended up finding a bin, I think, but it was after a while. And I presume all he found was a bin as well, which wasn't too useful. Also, this could have been, this could have ended, like the game could have ended here. You'll see what happens. But yeah, we have like Chambay or something. I luckily like ignored what it said because like I was like it begins with CH or something, and I couldn't really read the rest of it. But yeah, I zoom into Konya Ankara here. And I'm scanning for it. I think I'm more zoomed in than it appears, but yeah, I think you could even maybe see the place name is there. Could you tell that was it? I think that's the place name. But I could be wrong. It's definitely around that area. I didn't actually see it, but I did click on it. Like I don't know. Like I just like I'm just clicking here like ignoring the signs. And yeah, there's Chiambelli. But yeah, I didn't see it. I just clicked here. If I saw it, I would have clicked downtown. And also with OceanMan, there's 1 second left on the timer, and he opens his map. Which is what I mean. The game could have ended here. Like 2 seconds, map opens, and then he clicks Egypt, I think, or Egypt-Libya border, and then gets to Turkey and gets a nice region guess, with almost no time left. Yeah, was probably scary for him, but yeah, he got a nice region guess in the end as well. But I was happy with mine. And the next round here, I get kind of lucky that I get put into Gen 3, which, you know, but I also saw this hill at the start, so I already had a somewhat confident region guess, I suppose. Which, you know, yeah, I don't know if he saw the hill, but yeah, I get Gen 3 here, or a coverage change, not Gen 3. Or was it was it Gen 3? Yeah, it is Gen 3. And it just has Ciudad de Rio de Janeiro, so, you know, I click Rio de Janeiro, but with the mountain, it made most sense to me anyway, but I don't think he saw the same mountain I did. Or else he probably would have pushed it further east. But yeah, he goes Sao Paulo, which, you know, is valid, and we have round poles, and he looks towards Rio, which, you know, was probably the second option in his head, of course. But yeah, very happy with the start of the duel. I mean, flawlessing up 3000 HP, and we get a Kyrgyzstan here. zoom in instantly. I probably should have just done the snow move instead of moving, but I just moved and was like, okay, this road is very straight. This is probably findable. And we had dirt on the mirror, so we're probably near Jalalabad in the south. Check the car there. It's the dirty mirror, so I'm like, okay, eye up the little round, and then go into Jalalabad here, or west of it, which is what I thought. And then we have curves. I'm like, okay, this, but no. And then I move slightly east, I think, soon. And I'm like, okay, this looks good. And then I click the Z here to undo. So I went back to spawn, but I clicked Z to undo so I could see the road angle of the very straight section. And then I was like, okay, this is it. And then I sent. And yeah, I'll just skip here because he plonks very closely. But yeah, I don't want this video to go on too long because we're already 35 minutes in. And maybe I should have watched this on 2x speed, but I wasn't sure. But let me know if you want me to watch it on 2x speed or something in the future. Plates, I didn't know, but I think I will see a Kansai tuning fork on a pole very soon. But yeah, I don't know which pole it was that I saw it on. That pole there, yeah, that's the Kansai pole top, which is the region around Osaka. And we're very high in the mountains, clearly. I think there's also like a sign that says like 1,200 meters. Yeah, that one there, 1280. So yeah, I was like very high elevation around Osaka. I was trying to see if there was anything written on that, but there was not. I was just thinking, okay, where would be the highest elevation around Osaka? And I was like, okay, it's either north, like northwest of Kyoto, or it's like southeast towards Mie. And yeah, he clicks Nara at the start. And yeah, I end up clicking Nara, then he switches to where I was. And I'm like, I'm gonna click this mountain pass because, you know, why not? And it was another one instead. But yeah, I think Jake Lyons in the stream said, cause I watched back the broadcast, and he was like, he thought I found something, but I didn't. I was just like, we're on a mountain. I'm gonna click a mountain POI because why not? We're still flawless. Down to 1200. Would have hated to lose this game because I felt like I was playing pretty well. Up until this point anyway. But yeah, I just see Nigeri Semblan, so I click Nigeri Semblan. I should have clicked Anton Serumban because it was kind of like built up, but I decided to hedge label. Like I'm up so much HP with 3 rounds left in a moving duel, so it's unlikely that I could lose, but in theory it's possible. So maybe I should have just clicked Serumban. But yeah, played it ultra safe, and he's closer in KL. I think he had a sign for KL Airport. But yeah, 116. That was fine. And then next round here, Bulgaria. So yeah, I just want to see small countries. I was happy seeing this. Instantly zoomed into northeast Bulgaria with the coverage, feeling northeast, and then I get to a sign here soon enough. And I try and read the rayon, which is up here. I think it says something rayon, but it's hard to read. Which is like smaller than Oblast, but we also see Oblast Varna here. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna send Varna. I think it's here anyway, so like without signs I probably would have ended up guessing Schumann or something. So yeah, he gets the same sign. I don't know if he read the entire sign, because he doesn't see the Varna. But yeah, he has a region guessing to be northeast anyway, which was quite impressive. And yeah, it was as far away from me as possible in Varna Oblast and as close to him as possible, which is kind of unfortunate, but still 468. And now he's down to, 5,000 HP difference with 2 rounds left. And we have Germany, which is very bad for me in moving because I don't know Landkreise, which maybe I'll learn one day, but considering I still haven't learned Kabupaten, I think I should do that first. But yeah, Germany is hard in moving if you haven't learned Landkreise. It's either like you just need road numbers then. Is like the only way to find small towns, but yeah, like he has the Landkreise there. But I assume he doesn't know them either. But sometimes they're findable, sometimes they're not really findable. They're just like, the German equivalent of counties. But yeah, I decided saying Salz on one thing. So I was like, could this be like near Salzburg? Like, does Salzburg derive its name from like a river called Salz or something like nearby? Or like a historical region called Salz. So I looked for the other towns near Salzburg, but I was like, I don't see it. And I was like, it doesn't really look like Salzburg, so I'm going to click middle anyway. And yeah, end up sending middle. He's a bit more north. I mean, yeah, he has to try and start sending things because, he has to make up 5,000 HP in 2 rounds. And now if I lost this duel, I was probably retiring from Geoguessr 5,800 to 213, going into round 10. But we get Estonia here. Yeah. Don't think I saw Green Burr or anything, but I very confidently was like, this looks like Estonia. Um, if I don't get confirmation of the country, I'm gonna click Latvia so I survive no matter what for Lithuania and Estonia. But then the language was Estonian, and then it says on the bus, Estonia on the bus. Yeah. And yeah, I thought that Poha might be a place name, but I've remembered afterwards that I think it's just like how they say Estonia or something. It's not a place name anyway. But yeah, he's like kind of like, okay, this is over. Because it's Europe and it's too big of a lead to overpass. I'm still scanning for Poha. Don't ask. But yeah, then I finally move. I mean, if I moved quicker, I could have 5K'd. But I get to the Tallinn Airbus line a little bit late. And then I like click here, but I'm like, I try and switch. You see my ping there. So I'm like, okay, we're probably here because why would never be signposted on this road? And yeah, I ended up clicking, like, I pinged the 5K. Yeah. I'm not sure if he thought it was Finland or if he was sending because, you know, he was going to lose anyway. But, I mean, also in his head, it's like, if he won't even, like, he doesn't want to think it's Estonia because if it's Estonia, he's lost. So he has to think it's Finland, like, psychologically. But yeah, some cope for OceanMan from me. But yeah, happy with the moving. I mean, he's not much of a moving player, so I was hoping to win that, get a nice, like, you know, get the confidence going, as you do. But yeah, next was no move, and we start off in India, and yeah, I was not too sure on this lock. I was like Chhattisgarh, but I also zoom into Kerala here, Kerala Karnataka border, which was the other option in my mind. But yeah, it wasn't too eventful of a round, as you'll see why. But yeah, it was an interesting one nonetheless. But yeah, India is quite hard, but I felt like Chhattisgarh was just the default guess, so I send it. And as you can see, he is zooming into Chhattisgarh as well, because, I don't know, it looks like Chhattisgarh. And then, yeah, on the, like, it shows OceanMan's wave here, right? But it also, like, so on the broadcast, Drake said OceanMan waved and I didn't wave back, but I waved first. Like, you can see my character wave. But it just doesn't show that it doesn't show the emote for me, but I did it first. So, you know, didn't get the credit for my peak comedy. And then this round was scary. I was like, we have oil palms. I'm scared of Indo. Care fits Indo. Care also fits Thailand, and Malaysia, in theory. But I was like, the soil and just the road and like just the way it looked just felt Thailand to me for some reason. Even though Indo and Malaysia are also perfectly valid guesses. But then I was like, okay, but Thailand is a peninsula because we have oil palms and we have rubber trees. So I'm like, Gulf of Thailand it is. That was the plan. Yeah, he ends up going for Indo, as you can see. But yeah, maybe I should have committed. I think if it was later in the game with higher multis, I would have committed South. So yeah, and if this round was any other round with higher multis, this would have decided the game instantly. But yeah, I think I would have committed South if it was higher multis, but yeah, I would have done like, you know, an extra 1,000 or so damage if I committed South, probably a bit more even. But 1,500 was decent, good start to the duel. But I was like in my head, I don't want to get multi-merchanted after that because you know that's a good start to the duel. This was okay. This is my best round in the entire tournament so far. I think. I was very happy with this. So I came into Chile. I'm like, okay, it looks like Curico or something slightly south of Santiago. I zoom in, to Curico adjacent. Like look for mountains, and for some reason my brain just like is like San Fernando looks good with the mountain. I like processed it very quickly when I was zooming in. Like I zoomed in and I saw it. I don't know when I saw it, but I was like, I saw it, and I was like, okay, this looks good. With the mountain, like you can see the mountain here. I was like, that looks pretty good. You can see the mountain kind of falls off as well to the west. And I'm like, do I scan for straight names? And I was like, I don't want to waste energy for 5 points, so I'm just gonna send. Because scanning requires brain power. But yeah, I ended up getting the town based off of the mountain and nothing else, just lining it up. So that was the happiest round I had in the tournament. And then this game starts going downhill from here. But you know, like yeah, I was 2,200 HP up after round three rather. So I was like, you know, I was like feeling good, but I was also scared of multipliers because Geoguessr moment. But yeah, then we get Kenya here. And we both think it's slightly west. Ends up not being west, but yeah, we both send it. I don't know, it looked quite west to me. But yeah, he ends up like hedging slightly further east than I did. And it was just yeah, like Loki looked like we had like a massive mountain northeast of us. But I didn't like clock it. But like there's Loki, nah, probably clouds, but like there could be something here. But maybe Mount Kenya would be too far away. I don't know. But yeah, we both send that, and I'll just skip ahead because I already showed where we both guessed, and I was glitching Mount Kenya. And then this was Botswana. Still need to learn Botswana. I've been putting it off for so long. I've just been doing other things. But yeah, this is not the only Botswana round of the serial spoiler alert. So yeah, definitely should be learning Botswana sometime soon because it seems somewhat prevalent. But yeah, I was like red soil. Probably click east, but it's also like very white sand, so I'm a bit confused. So I'm like looking here because there's a lake here. Would that cause the sand to be whiter? The river might cause the sand to be whiter. Yeah. He zooms into middle. Maybe he was considering center hedging, which based even though there's no coverage in the Kalahari Reserve, whatever it's called. I forgot no, not the Kalahari. What's the reserve called? I don't know. Something game reserve in the middle. Where's the Kalahari Desert? My brain is off. It's fine. But yeah, we both ended on the east. It's max west. Definitely could have won on that. Yeah, also could have lost on that, which quite scary in hindsight. But yeah, if someone knew Botswana, I could definitely lose to that. So probably should be learning Botswana sometime soon. And then we get another Botswana back to back. And this round was a bit annoying because I considered it, but I just like didn't send it because I thought it was a bit too risky. I guess. But yeah, I instantly zoom into the same area. West of France kind of set a southeast of it though. And he's like between these two. That's funny, I didn't see that when I first watched it back myself. But yeah, then I end up clicking here, in between the two lakes because it kind of reminded me of that coverage there, but I wasn't 1,000,000% sure. He's in a very similar area. But I'm like, okay, there's like this one white road in Maun, near Ganzi area as well, or between Maun and Ganzi, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna send that, but then he sends where I clicked, and does 2,000 points of damage, which is a bit unfortunate. We lose the lead, and the multi-merchant has begun, or the attempted. We'll see if it pans out or not. This then was a series round. I wasn't sure between Sweden or Finland with the white hair long antenna. Yeah, and I was like, okay, it probably is North Sweden if it's Sweden, and it's also probably coastal if it's Sweden. So I'm like, Gulf of Bothnia, or what's it called, Bothnia? I don't know what it's called. Something like that. Hedge it is, and yeah, I think he commits to a country here. And yeah, we'll see if that pays off for him or not. I mean, a lot of you watching have probably already seen, but yeah, I wasn't too sure on this. The road just felt more Finnish to me, but like the coverage felt more Swedish. But yeah, yeah, he basically sends border as well, but I'm like in the border, but in the water. Which it happens. And he goes slightly more south. And ends up being a good switch for him, or not a good switch. Bad switch for him. That's the word. But 296, he was a lot closer. Could have been a lot more points. Which scary in hindsight, of course. And this is bad for me. I kind of like trusted care meta, even though I wasn't confident because I didn't map it myself. But I was like, no care in Turkey shouldn't be where I think this is, but I'm confused because I was pretty confident. I was looking like Izmir to what's the place called, Denizli, or Bodrum or something down there. He instantly zoomed into Izmir. near Turgutlu or Turgutlu. I don't know. Yeah, sorry for my Turkish pronunciations. But yeah, that was my like first thought, just somewhere like near there. But I was like, with no car, like how far southwest can you send? And that's what confused me. Because I just wasn't like, I was like, it looks more southwest, like somewhere closer to Izmir, which it was. But yeah, Lucy hasn't points that because I trusted Caramata when without like an NPC I probably send where he sends, which is what's annoying, but yeah, it happens. And then this, yeah, I kind of, I think my guess is fine. Maybe it was a little bit troll, but and like it looks like Mount Gambier or something down here. And then Coastal Victoria is the other option. I'm like Mount Gambier lines up pretty nicely, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send here, and hope it's nearby. I mean, we don't see a city or anything, so my guess doesn't really make much sense. But it could have been in the surrounding area with the same grid line. But I mean, you get this grid line all over Vic as well. And yeah, he ends up clicking slightly west in Victoria as well. He's just grid line scanning as well. And yeah, it was coastal. I had the vision, but not the state. But yeah, we get knocked down to sub 300 HP, or not sub 300, 300 HP. Going into round 10. And yeah, this was like, when I saw this round, I was like, okay, this is winnable. It's not Estonia or something. It's, you know, it's not Luxembourg, it's not Singapore. It's a winnable country, but it's a very hard country to region guess, especially urban. So I was very scared. There was a sign here. I presume he was hoping that it said the 5k so that we'd both 5k and that he couldn't lose then. But it did not. I think it just said the name of a school or something, which, you know, you're not going to know the name of the school in Colombia. But yeah, I don't really know what went through my head here. I was like, white car, maybe slightly further north. I almost, like, I clicked Bogota, but in my head, I wasn't going to send Bogota, I just clicked it at the start. Or like, start, but with 5 seconds left, and I changed my mind with 2 seconds left. But I get into Colo here. I'm like, I don't know, it's round 10. You have to send something, like, you can't click middle. So I click Bogota, and I'm like, what if it's Procure Manga? And then I slam it in Procure Manga, and I'm praying for the damage to be enough, and then I realize it's enough, and then I'm shaking my head in disbelief because, like, what have I just done? Like, I've plonked the city on Urban Columbia on round 10 to steal the game away. To be fair, like, it looks like a multi-merchant because, you know, it's 300 HP to 3,600, but when you consider the fact that he was on 3,800 after round 4 or after round 3, then I just stopped him from multi-merchanting. I didn't multi-merchant, if you get me, but yeah. Because, like, the Thailand round, if that's higher multis, I just win the game. And I also probably commit Peninsula if it's higher multis, so then I do even more damage, but you know, I'm just coping. But yeah, a bit unfortunate for OceanMan there. I got the craziest multi-merchant of all time. But not also not a multi-merchant, but yeah, you just see the shock on my face. I'm just like shaking my head. I'm like, what just happened? But yeah, was very happy with that. Makes me start off the week with 3 2-0s in the same day, which was very nice. I start off the league with that. And that gives us these standings. I'm currently recording this on Friday, so there will be games soon. I'm playing, I think MK, my game against MK is on stream at either 6 or 6:45, and then I have a game against Debray at 6 or 6:45 or GMT, but you know, 7 or 7:45 CET. But yeah, this is the standings. I currently have the highest win percentage, like no one else that's played like if you look here, like the games played, the only other people with 100% win rate is in theory is Armani Swan Gambit because they're 0 played and 0 won. So you know, but I have 100% win rate, like all 2-0s, 3 points per game with 3 games played, which is impressive. And you can see me go up 29 in placement because I didn't play week 1, which was a nice thing to do. And then yeah, Blinky's lost one game but won every match. Radu's lost 2 games but won every match. Moo, I'm not sure. Because he has it could be 4 3-0s or else some 3-2 or yeah, it could be, yeah, you get me. And then Consus played 4 games, lost 1 game, or played 4 matches, lost 1 game. And yeah, happy with how I ended up because I mean 5th after 3 games. You see everyone below me is 4 or 5, and then the next person with 3 games is down here, Orlando. So yeah, it's good. It's a good place to be. Very happy with the performance, and yeah, I guess these are the only two people that could match my record, Armani and Song Gambit. But yeah, I'm not sure who they're playing, but maybe they will. And yeah, I guess that'll be it for the video. Make sure to watch the games this weekend, and let me know what you think of this. Like, do you want me to watch on 2xp? Do you want me to watch it like skipping through, or do you want me to show only the interesting rounds? Because this is a 55-minute video. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye bye and peace.